Welcome to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft, and I'm mocking, give you my views, thoughts, and opinions. Got a really fun one for you today. We're going to be going over to ESPN because Mel Kiper and Field Yates have a 3-round mock draft for us. So let's go ahead, get into this sucker with number 1 Chicago Bears. It's going to be Caleb Williams. No kidding, we kind of already know that by now. I'm more fascinated to see what they do at number 2. As this is going to be Field Yates' pick. He's going to go with Jaden Daniels. I know a lot of people. That's where the smoke is right now. That's where the smoke is, which means Drake May will be available here for the New England Patriots. I'm kind of curious, since this is like them trading off picks, are we going to have trades in this? I don't know. We'll find out. But New England Patriots, they stay put. They take Drake May. And I actually like that. If Drake May makes it past 2, then for the Patriots, I feel like you take him, you snag him, you get your franchise quarterback. So we got 3 quarterbacks off the board. Arizona Cardinals next up here, and they will be staying put and taking Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay, so everything looking pretty cookie cutter at this point. We've had 3 quarterbacks. The 3 that everyone's like okay with, and then you got JJ McCarthy. Really nobody knows how they feel about them. Like either you're really high on them, maybe you're really low, or maybe you're like me and you're like, yeah, no, he's got tools, but a guy that needs to sit. I feel like there's a middle there that we can meet in. And then you have Marvin Harrison Jr., who's not just the best receiver in this class, but people talk about him as the top prospect. Cardinals, they need receiving help. It makes sense. Now, going to pick 5, we actually do have a trade. So I'm actually going to read this because I'm kind of curious how they did this. So Kiper, because I have the odd number picks in the 3-round draft, I ended up with everything I needed to make this deal happen. Okay, so Mel's trading with himself. Cool. There's worse things you could do to yourself. But he's trading with himself, and it's going to be 3 first-round picks. The Vikings are going to get pick 5, Chargers 11, 23, and a first-rounder next year. So Vikings moving up for JJ McCarthy, I imagine. Let's just confirm that. It is, in fact, JJ McCarthy. Now, a lot of people assumed, and I feel like that's a good assumption to have. Once the Vikings made a move to get a second first-round pick, that they would be looking to move up to trade up for a quarterback. You can make a case to the Patriots, but I mean, they're a quarterback needy team. Maybe they want to sit there at 3. Make a case for the Cardinals. They have another pick already in this draft, and they can maybe amass a few more picks. I think the Chargers may be the most likely. New regime. Jim Harbaugh, he wants more picks. Gets more future capital. I think they can make it happen. I kind of like the trade there. I know Cardinals fans were like, why would we just sit there? We moved last year. We traded down, and then we traded back up. And it's like, yeah, but Marvin Harrison kind of feels like a different animal. You already have a second first-round pick. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility for them to make this trade happen. But if anything, the Vikings, this is going to be a draft day trade, potentially. Because no one knows what the Giants are thinking. They say, hey, we want to go out and look to make the quarterback position better. That could have literally meant, oh, yeah, no, Drew Lock. That's what we meant. We were going to bring in Drew Lock. That's our quarterback move. Maybe they try to go up and get a quarterback in this class. But that's why I have the Chargers team right before the Giants. Maybe you let things play out, see if the Giants want to make a move, which, I mean, they just traded a second away. I know that they have another second, but they just traded a second away for Brian Burns. Do they feel they're that close that they could move up, trade future draft capital? Because it will cost them a first, a second, and I imagine a variety of other picks to move up to maybe like a 4 or a 5. So, I don't know. It's going to be fascinating to see how all this plays out. But everyone and their mom thinks Minnesota is going to be moving up to get a quarterback. They get JJ McCarthy. So, it's kind of a long, roundabout way just to say I think this is the most likely scenario. But, hey, I think there's a lot of good conversations we could have here, because there's a lot of different possibilities. There truly is. Just because I think the Chargers are the most likely doesn't mean that's how it's going to play out. Doesn't mean it's right. That's just my opinion. Malik Neighbors going to the Giants at 6. This is what a lot of people think will happen. At least wide receiver. It could be Rome Odunze, because he's kind of vastly different than what they have on their roster. Not to say Malik Neighbors isn't. I mean, he is. He's phenomenal. Malik Neighbors, hey, wide receiver 2 for me, baby. And I think it would be a fine pick here as well, but maybe they look for a little bit more size. But I think either or. Wide receiver feels like the pick for the Giants. Pick 7. This feels like it's going to be a tackle. I imagine it's going to be. It's Joe Alt. Kuiper takes Joe Alt for the Tennessee Titans. They release Andre Dillard. What do they... Riddle me this. What do they currently have going on at their tackle spots? Okay, they got Nicholas Petit-Frere listed a left tackle with Jalen Duncan behind him. And then Dylan Radins listed at right tackle. They did just trade for Leroy Watson, but they're going Joe Alt. Unless you're moving like Peter Skoronski at left tackle, and Sadiq Charles maybe can snag the left guard spot. You could have Nicholas, regardless, like Nicholas Petit-Frere, I think he was on the right side last year. Just have him and Radins kind of battle it out in camp. Take Joe Alt. Yeah, it's kind of, for me, that's the best pick for the Titans. Atlanta Falcons stay put. They take Dallas Turner. Legitimately, they're going to take whoever the top defensive player is. I think Rome Odunze could definitely be in play with him being on the board still. You could also make a great case for them to trade. I think the Falcons are in a wonderful position, but they get Dallas Turner here, and I think that's fine. Their pass rush sucks. I believe Raheem Morris will want more pass rush. Before we get to pick 9, if you want to know more about the prospects in this NFL draft class, then go ahead, take a gander at my draft guide. Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're going to want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only $30 by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment, and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet, so send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals, and guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase, and it's a great way to support the channel. Pick 9, Chicago Bears. They go with Rome Odunze. So everything basically playing out as to plan. Everything playing out as planned. This is a bit cookie cutter, but we're still early in. New York Jets, they go with Troy Fautanu. I do think they probably go with the more immediate impact starter, being Brock Bowers. Rome Odunze would be nice if he makes it here. I don't think tackle's out of the question. I think it's right up there, but I'd probably be looking for someone who will start 17 games next year and not someone who will start like 5 or 6 because we think Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses are going to get hurt. Honestly, Troy Fautanu probably challenges. What is it? Is it John Simpson or Josh Simpson? They're at left guard. I know they just signed him, but John Simpson. I know they just signed him. I think it's just a 2-year deal, though. So it's not. I don't think it's a. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I'm just telling you what I believe that they will do. Plus, Brock Bowers is kind of hard to match where he may go in this class. Mel Kiper takes J.C. Latham for the Chargers. I get it. It's Jim Harbaugh. We want to run the freaking football. Let's bring some big meaty boys in here, especially one that can play right tackle. That's a terrible Jim Harbaugh impression, by the way. I like Quinion. I really like Quinion here. I think their secondary is kind of cheeks. Kind of is. Currently, I know they brought in Christian Fulton. He's fine. Rather, he was corner 3 than actually being corner 2 with Asante Samuel. I haven't made up my mind if he's a corner 1 in the league right now. I think he could work inside and out, but I think you're still looking for that alpha. Jasir Taylor's in the slot. Then you got like Chris Wilcox, Dean Leonard. Yeah, you need more guys. You need more guys. This ain't going to cut it. That's why I say go corner. Maybe they go corner at pick 23. Denver Broncos. They go with Brock Bowers. Yo, they got to take a quarterback. They got to take a quarterback. I don't know if they move back up in this draft. I kind of like the idea of them giving away next year's first to move up in the back end of the first round if like there's a Bo Nix or Michael Penix there. They got to leave this draft with a quarterback. I don't know what Brock Bowers really does for this team. I mean, at least you get another weapon, I guess, for Jarrett Stidham. The Raiders go with Quinion Mitchell. I like this quite a bit. I really like the idea of the Raiders going with a corner. Just keep adding really good talent, depth, and competition there. You already got Nate Hobbs. Jack Jones was really good for you. Jacorian Bennett's going to be solid depth. Adding Quinion, man, you feel really good about that cornerback room. New Orleans Saints, they're going with Olu Fashanu. Tackle, everyone and their mom could guess it. Ryan Ramczyk, don't know what his status is. Promising, but what is it long term? Potentially, I don't know. We'll see. Trevor Pettit hasn't been that good, so you need to bring in more tackles. Terrion Arnold going to the Colts. I think this is kind of a safe pick here. Add more talent, competition, and depth to the most volatile position on the defense, being quarterback. Terrion Arnold, he helps out with that. I think he'd be a good fit, too, for Gus Bradley. Seattle Seahawks, they're going with Byron Murphy the second. So this is Phil Yates' pick. They get some interior help, which I think that's a way they could definitely go. I definitely think that they could go with that. I mean, you look at that left guard position, it's kind of wide open. They did bring in Lincoln Tomlinson, but you kind of hope you could do better there. But currently on their interior, they brought in Jonathan Hankins, so they got a little meat there. They brought Jaron Reed, guy they're familiar with, but then I mean, you got Draymond Jones, you got Leonard Taylor, two very good players. Maybe I don't know what you're hoping for Mike Morris next year. I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of feel like Byron Murphy functions as like Draymond. That's kind of the role. Or maybe they just plug him at center or at like nose and say, go get after it, young man. Quite possibly. Real quick, I got to give a little love to Underdog Fantasy. And if you didn't know, if you sign up at Underdog Fantasy using promo code Broshmo, they'll match that first deposit up to $100 dues. It's the best place for weekly best ball. Shoot, we got the baseball season going on right now. We're near the end of the basketball season. So if you want to get in on the action, it's time to get in on the action. And my favorite, they got higher or lower on player prop bets. So if you want to play, then sign up. Use promo code Broshmo, and they will double that first deposit, whether it's 25, 50, 100. They'll double it. But please, bet responsibly. Bet within your means. Jacksonville Jaguars, they're going to be going with Brian Thomas Jr. I like that pick, man. They did bring in a Gabe Davis, and I feel like Brian Thomas and Gabe Davis kind of occupy the same space, at least early on, as you develop Thomas. It'll be fascinating. I mean, regardless, I feel like Thomas could be better. Gabe Davis. Bengals, Field Yates takes Talanisa Fuanga. I like this. I think this is the route that the Bengals probably should go. Get in on this tackle class in the first round. Look for that future right tackle because Trent Brown's only there on a one-year deal, and I can promise you he's probably going to miss a few games. Los Angeles Rams go with Liatu Latu. This has been a very popular pick recently as well, and I kind of like it. You keep Liatu Latu in LA, and you get a nice technician to pair up with your speedy Byron Young over there on the other side. Pick 20, Pittsburgh Steelers go with Graham Barton. Okay, so at this point, you're probably moving him at center. You're probably playing him at center. I think that's probably where you're moving him. Why not go for a tackle? Swing on Marius Mims. But I mean, a lot of people really like Graham Barton as like a top 20 pick, so not out of the realm of possibility. Mel Kiper goes with Jared Verse to the Dolphins. I mean, I don't love it. I'd rather us. I like at least we're in the trenches, but can't we take a swing on some offensive line talent? I don't care if it's Mims. I don't care if it's Jackson Powers Johnson. Let's swing on some guys because our offensive line isn't great. It took some hits, and it's guaranteed going to get hurt because it was hurt all last year. I love Jared Verse, by the way, though. Philadelphia Eagles go with Amarius Mims because this is the most Eagles theme they will do. Keep a strength to strength. Get your right tackle of the future by taking the freaky Amarius Mims. This second pick's the Chargers, and they go with Xavier Worthy. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. He's like not the next best receiver for me. I think he has a teammate that I think I'd rather take at this juncture. I mean, I guess what? You just playing him in the slot? I don't know. Him and Joshua Palmer could be interchangeable outside and in, but Chargers are coming out with J.C. Latham and Xavier Worthy. Dallas Cowboys go with Tyler Guyton. That's maybe your heir apparent at left tackle. Just throw him to the fire. I'm gonna be honest, I think I like Jackson Powers Johnson a little bit better at this spot. You let me know what you think, Cowboys fans. But what's crackalackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below, where we had that nice, beautiful football discourse. Green Bay Packers, Cooper DeJean, of course it is. It's the best pick the Packers can make. They may trade up. Well, I think they've traded up in 3 of the last 4 years, so it could be in the realm of possibility. Could be in the realm, but nonetheless, I do like Cooper DeJean here for the Packers. Chop Robinson going to the Buccaneers. They stick with an edge player. A team that did bring in Randy Gregory, but that don't really mean nothing. A team that likes to be in their bag when it comes to having a deep pass rush. They currently got Yaya Diaby and Joe Tryon with maybe a Randy Gregory there in the background. So maybe if you want to take a shot and develop a guy, maybe essentially they feel like they missed on Joe Tryon, and he will be a free agent, I think next year or the year after, I can't remember, but maybe you're looking at the heir apparent. Nate Wiggins, I actually like this pickup for the Cardinals. I really like this. Go ahead and swing on corner. You're going to have Garrett Williams inside. You got Sean Murphy-Button on the outside. Go ahead, grab Nate Wiggins. Play him at corner too, and I don't know, man. Maybe just like that. Secondary is good, potentially. Adonai Mitchell just feels like the perfect pick for the Buffalo Bills, so I like this pick here. Good on them. As a Dolphins fan, I hate it. Darius Robinson going to the Lions, very interesting. Kind of feels like this is a guy you're hoping to be maybe an upgrade from John Kaminsky. Or maybe this is what you thought you were getting in Josh Pascal. I mean, good player. Good player. I'd be thinking about Kool-Aid here. As he goes with the next pick to the Atlanta Falcons. I like this. Add more cornerback help. My boy Marlon Humphrey's been banged up the last couple of years, so bringing some depth and competition to that position. Jordan Morgan going to the 49ers. I like this. You can immediately challenge Colt McKivitz, or he could challenge one of the guard spots. Your pick. Xavier Leggett going to the Chiefs. That's fun. You get some big boy size, big boy meat. They already brought in Hollywood Brown. She Rice may come back at some point this year. Suddenly you're feeling good about the weapons you have for Mahomes. Yeah, let's jump to the second round as we got a trade to kick things off. Are we going to be doing trades in the second round like this? All right. So the Rams get 33, Panthers get 52, 83, and a third rounder in 2025. The Rams move up to get Michael Penix Jr., so I guess you're kind of hoping that's the heir apparent to Matthew Stafford. New England Patriots go Keon Coleman. I know people don't love the 4.6 140, but he was also the only guy to crack 20 miles an hour in the gauntlet drill. I think he's a guy that it's speed's not, or at least play speed's not the problem when it comes to why he struggles to separate. Guy that just needs to get better selling his routes. and whatnot. We got Roger Rosengarten going to the Cardinals. So at this point, you're just going to be moving Paris Johnson over to left tackle, and then bam, boom. You got Rosengarten at right tackle. Cool, fun. A little high for me, but I get some people really like him. And it's Drake Stroud Jr. I'm not going to lie, kind of feels like a Dan Quinn guy going to the Commanders here. TJ Tampa. I'm kind of curious if he is a fit here for the Chargers. Kind of curious. I feel like not to say TJ Tampa can't play man. He just didn't play a lot of press snaps. And I kind of like him in more of a zone-heavy scheme. So, I don't know. I don't know about this one. The Giants move up. So, they're going to give picks 47. Or the Giants are going to get 38 and 146. Titans get 47 and 70. Giants go up and get Bo Nix. Okay, there we go. I like that. That's a hell of a lot of fun. I think that I like it. I like it. Now you got him and Drew Lock and Daniel Jones all battling for quarterback one this training camp. That's fun. The Panthers go Ladd McConkey. I feel like you'd like a little bit more size, but honestly, Ladd McConkey ends up being like the heir apparent from Adam Thielen. Kingsley Su'a-Matea, you get a developmental tackle who maybe put out there and hope he gets by on his traits, but you got Cornelius Lucas. You don't really need a rush Su'a-Matea out there. Packers go with Patrick Paul, someone that they could develop, and I guess if things hit the fan with Sheed Walker. Texans go Mason Smith. I know interior is a very popular pick here at 42 for the Texans. Mason Smith, the guy that very raw, but it's got intriguing tools. Atlanta Falcons go with Malachi Corley. That's interesting. I really think the Falcons are going to be going defense heavy. They went offense heavy in free agency. I think they're going to be going heavy defense in the draft. I mean, what does it say about Rondale Moore? Jackson Powers Johnson falls. What a get for the Raiders. I mean, essentially, he's playing right guard for the squad, I believe. Yeah, because you got Thayer Mumford out there at right tackle. You got Thayer Mumford out there at right tackle, and I believe Dylan Parham's at left guard. Oh, no, he's at right guard. I mean, regardless, Jackson Powers Johnson can play either guard position. Goodness gracious, dude. They brought in Cody Whitehair. Depth option. So, yeah, you're probably playing Jackson Powers Johnson at left guard. I mean, honestly, Parham could play either side, so it doesn't really matter. Ricky Pearsall going to the Saints. It's kind of an interesting one. I mean, you part away with Michael Thomas once you want a bigger receiver. Maybe they view A.T. Perry as that. They're just grabbing more depth at receiver. I guess that's fine. Jalen Polk coming into this receiver room to help. Not like the speediest, flashiest guy, but very, very good short area quicks, sure hands, junkyard dog. Kind of like it. You got Adisa Isaac going to the Titans. I don't really have him in my top 50, so it's like a minor reach. But I could see the Titans wanted to get better at the edge rush position. Marshawn Nealon going to the Jags. So Josh Allen, while Jacksonville signed Josh Allen to a deserved long-term deal and Javon Walker broke out last season, the team must continue to hammer the edge depth, and I think Nealon's blend of raw power and quickness would be very appealing to general manager Bulky. Maybe. Can I see what their depth looks like in Jacksonville there? Okay, so they have Travis Gibson's not bad. Yazir Abdullah, who they drafted last year, and that's about it. I mean, sure, I guess you take a. I mean, he's got a versatile body. You can move him around. Fun fact, I forgot. Dude, Jerzad Noonan's still on the board. This is kind of a steal for the Bengals at 49. Max Melton going to the Eagles, so they do address that corner position. I like that, a guy that can work inside and out. Pittsburgh Steelers take Jalen McMillan. I mean, I think he immediately you jam him into the slot. I think currently their starters are, of course, you got George Pickens, but is it Van Jefferson? Yeah, they also brought in Quez, but Quez is used to being a wide receiver 4. So you can bring in Jalen McMillan to challenge for that challenge in the slot with guys like Quez and Calvin Austin. I like McMillan, man. I do. Check out my wide receivers video. He made it. You'll hear him very early in the video. Mike Sainristil still going to the Panthers. Do they have something going on in the slot? Know that they just lost Jeremy Chin, but honestly, I don't think Chin was that effective as a slot. He's more of a box player. They got Troy Hill. He's fine. He's fine. Yeah, you'd probably be looking for more of an outside receiver then. Edwin Cooper going to the Eagles here. They need more linebacker help. You get a very long, very quick athlete. Troy Franklin goes to the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they extended Jerry Jeudy. Amari Cooper is entering the final year of his deal, so they could take a swing, but I mean, what do they feel about like Cedric Tillman? I imagine this isn't like a vote of, this isn't a sign of encouragement for like Elijah Moore or Cedric Tillman. I just don't imagine it being that. Cooper Beebe going to the Dolphins. I've seen him on tape. I think he works better vertically than laterally. Dolphins, they do a lot of things laterally. Concern. Jonathan Brooks going to the Cowboys, one of the most popular landing spots for Brooks, whether it's at this pick or in the 3rd round. Dallas's medical team did his surgery, so yeah, a lot of people connecting dots. Zach Frazier still on the board, kind of a good pick here, whether he ends up playing left guard or center. I like it. It's a good pick there for the Bucks. Peyton Wilson going to the Packers, so they address that linebacker position. Kamari Lassiter, someone who can work inside and out, or at least you're hoping could work on the inside. You're gonna want to have to hide that long speed, so he might end up just being a slot guy. It'll be fascinating. Cole Bishop going to the Bills. I kind of like that after you lost Poyer and Hyde. Yeah, I kind of like that. They lost Hyde, right? I wasn't dreaming that. Yeah, he's not listed. They got Taylor Rapp and Mike Edwards. Is Hyde still a free agent? Poyer's with the Dolphins. Yeah, he's still a free agent. Wild. Javon Bullard going to the Lions. Ugh. I recently picked Bullard, my top safety in our big super teams draft. He can do it all. The Lions landed Brian Branch in round 2 last year, and they could build an elite duo with these. Well, Brian Branch is mainly playing in the slot. And you got to feel confident with what? Ifeatu Melifonwu actually performed well at safety in relief of Tracy Walker. They also have Kirby. Oh, why am I blanking on his name? Kirby Joseph. There we go. Oh, and then they got Brandon Joseph as depth. Yeah, I don't know about this one, Mel. I don't know. Isaiah Adams going to the Ravens. Currently, they have only Ben Cleveland and Andrew Voorhees, along with the Oregon tackle that they drafted last year, who was supposed to start at guard but got hurt. So grabbing more competition there, I think, is a good spot. Andrew Phillips, kind of feels like a potential good fit here for the Niners. I actually kind of like that. Then Braden Fisk going to the Chiefs. You get in this back end of the 2nd round range, and that's kind of where I have Fisk. But yeah, pairing him up with Chris Jones is kind of scary. Let's run through this 3rd round. Chris Braswell going to the Panthers. They get a pass rush. Christian Haynes, this is great value at 66 in my opinion. Roman Wilson going to the Commanders. They did lose Curtis Samuel. Who is slotted? Is it Dotson slotted to be in the slot? No, they're probably gonna keep him outside. Okay, they brought in Zacchaeus. He'll challenge Jameson Crowder there in the slot. So yeah, you could probably do better there if you want. Yeah. Tez Walker going to the Patriots. Kind of a fun pick because you pair him back up with Drake May. Chris Jenkins. This is Harbaugh's dream pickup. Drafting one of his guys. Field Yates have the tight ends going with the Junior Colson, so they get a linebacker. I feel like they'd want a more athletic linebacker. Though the guy that they lost, Azeez Al-Shaair, was more of a thumper anyway, but Gibbons kind of proven to be that last year for him. But I don't mind. Colson's really good, so he's a part of the big three, and I think the other two are already off the board. Muhammad Kamara, another undersized. That's not fair. That's a little fair. Another undersized pass rusher for the Cardinals. I'm a big fan of Kamara, though. Check out my old man video on the older prospects in the 2024 NFL Draft. Did that video yesterday. Jaden Hicks going to the Jets. Jets. They didn't bring back Whitehead. I think Whitehead went to the Bucks. Could be making that up as well. I've been known to do that sometimes. Yeah, no, they got Chuck Clark, who was out all of last year. I can't remember if it was like an Achilles or an ACL. They did bring back Ashton Davis. He's kind of whatevs. Tony Adams saw a lot of playing time last year. Oh yeah, kind of taking a shot to upgrade that position. That ain't bad. Whoa, Bub Means? Wow, let's go. Oh man, I got Bub Means like more as a late day 3 pick, because he's big and he's fast, but I feel like that's about all that he is right now. But golly, 3rd round love. I like that. Cam Hart going to the Falcons, so they go out and get that cornerback help. I like it. Kieran Amagaji. Bears, they take a swing on a developmental tackle. I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think it's a terrible idea. Maybe move on from Braxton Jones as he's just grabbing more value. So maybe in a year or two, you're like, okay, well, we're about to lose him. So let's go ahead and move him, and hopefully Amagaji will step in his place and be that guy. Broncos goes Spencer Rattler. If they don't come out with a quarterback in the 1st round and have no 2nd round pick, yeah, they kind of got to go Rattler in the 3rd. Jalen Hyatt, so they get some legitimate speed there in the backfield. Keep in mind, Zamir White has got kind of decent like straight line speed, but Alexander Madison doesn't. Joan Ellis is a good pickup here for the Commanders at pick 78. Rook Orohoro. Wow, Falcons. They're making moves. I kind of like some of their picks here. Didn't love Corley, but I've liked their last 2 picks. Oh, Goodra, you want to get in? All right. Well, Bengals, they're about to take a Javon Baker, who honestly would be a similar role to T. Higgins. Still got to get that T. Higgins trade done, though. You got Zach Zentner. I'd be willing to still take Zentner in the 3rd round. I'd still be willing to take him in the 3rd round. It's just such a good offensive interior class, man. Good players are going to fall. That's just the case of the matter. Dominic Pooney going to the Colts. All right, buddy. What does Pooney accomplish here? Center, but they're saying he could play all 4 positions. I don't think they need all 4 positions. I think they need center, really. Because they're good with Bernhard Raimann, Braden Smith. They got Quentin Nelson. Are you looking to upgrade Quentin Nelson? But Will Fries, he had an all right year last year. Didn't have to be Ryan Kelly. Panthers get Ben Sinnott. Who'd they bring in at tight end? I feel like they brought in somebody. It should be like an Austin Hooper or something. They got Tommy Tremble, Ian Thomas. Okay, I guess they didn't bring in anybody. So honestly going tight ends not out of the realm of possibility. Michael Hall be a really fun pick up here. To have him on the interior there with Keanu Benton. It's hella fun. Nick Chubb. Don't know when he's going to be back, so get in a Trey Benson if you don't feel good about Jerome Ford. I mean, Benson's great value here at 85, so I actually don't mind it. Yeah, it just kind of sucks because I actually really like Jerome Ford. I'm not saying Ford's like this banger bell cow back. He's not, but I think he's a good rotation guy. Tyler Newbin going to the Texans. So this is good value here. You got Cedric Gray going to the Cowboys. I mean, more so, I'm just kind of looking at what names may pop up here. We got Kalen Bullock going to the Packers. Oh, Elijah Jones. I think I got a 4th round grade on Elijah Jones. I'm a big fan of Elijah Jones, though. Going to Tampa Bay here. Dwayne Carter, another guy I think probably could go in the back end of the 3rd round. Going to the Cardinals here. This feels too high for Brennan Jackson. I get it. He's got an NFL edge body, but there's guys with just much better upside than Brennan Jackson. I think he's like a mid to late day 3 pick for me. But he goes to the Packers here. Marshawn Lloyd goes to the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay heavily relied on Rachaad White last season, but it was last in rushing, averaging at 88.8 yards per game. Aaron Lloyd would make for a more explosive, deeper backfield. Yates, their run blocking sucked. Running backs don't help your problem in the trenches when it comes to run blocking. I'm sorry Rachaad White was going to hit like immediately at the line of scrimmage. Cameron Kitchens is kind of a fun pick here for Baltimore. I think Marcus Williams is in the final year of his deal. They didn't bring back Geno Stone. Jared Wiley going to the Niners. But this is the 3rd tight end, I think, off the board at this point. I know there's a few people that are pretty high on Wiley. He's got a good build, good athlete. Blake Fisher going to the Chiefs. So that's kind of fun. You could develop both him, Wanya Morris. I mean, best case scenario, Wanya Morris is good, Blake Fisher's good. And you say bye-bye to Jawan Taylor's contract. Christian Jones feels like kind of a desperation pick at tackle after watching the Chiefs go it in front of you. But okay. Blake Corum going to the Bengals here is kind of interesting. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Brandon Coleman, I like that he got a little love here. Going to the Steelers. Probably more of a guard, though. If he does go to the Steelers. Because didn't they take tackle in the first? Oh, they took like Graham Barton, didn't they? I don't know. It's been so long. Brandon Dorless going to the Rams. So they get an undersized pass rusher there to replace their other undersized pass rusher. Who was also like one of the best defensive players the last like 10 years. Okay, Jatavion Sanders going here to the Commanders is actually kind of a nice way to end this mock draft off. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.